So next, we will discussing about one word is there, GMO. Do you know what is the full form of GMO?
No.
Genetically modified organism. Genetically modified organism. Okay, means if you have changed the genetic material of the host, suppose that here what you have done, you have just changed the genotype of this bacteria. So what this bacteria will be called as? What? GMO. GMO means what? Genetically
Genetically
modified
modified
organism.
organisms.
Okay, and this genetically modified organism is also known as transgenic animals. These are the words that we use for this GMO or genetically modified organism. It is also called transgenic organism. Transgenic organism means the organism whose genetic materials are modified. Modified means you have introduced something or you have just removed something. So this will be known as genetically modified organism. So in biotechnology, we will just prepare the organism that will be genetically modified. So what happens in this? So what are the basic steps that are needed to modifying any organism? So basically three basic steps are involved. Three basic steps are involved.
These three steps are to modify the genetic material of
Yes,
the
yes, yes,
organism.
yes. This three basic steps are involved for what? Uh, you can see that in creating GMO, genetically modified organism. So what are the basic steps? So for introducing any DNA, firstly you have to recognize the desirable DNA. So first step is identification of DNA with desired gene. Okay, so firstly what you have to do, firstly you have to identify the DNA which contains the desired gene. Okay, and next introduction of identified DNA into the host. Into the host. And next is maintenance of introduced DNA in the host and transfer of the DNA to its progeny. Transfer of the DNA to its progeny. Okay, Deepika. So what you have done here, firstly, you have just identified the desirable gene. This is the foreign DNA that contains desired gene. Okay, is it clear to you?
Yeah.
And then you have prepared this rDNA. And what you have done next, this recombinant DNA is introduced into the host. This host is bacteria here. And what happens when you have introduced this recombinant DNA into the host, you have to maintain the critical, matlab, all the desired condition so that The introduced DNA will simply go to its progeny. Progeny means offspring or daughter cells. Bacteria divides and it produces its daughter cells. And this genetic material that you have prepared earlier, this along with the genetic material of bacteria, it will come into the progeny cell or daughter cell. Is it clear to you? And now you have what you have done. You have just changed the genetic material of this bacteria. So this bacteria is called genetically modified organism or transgenic bacteria. Is it clear to you?
Yeah.
Three steps are clear to you. What are the three
Yes,
steps? Once repeat. Because this,
identification.
yeah, this is a question of board examination also. Uh, Question is like, what are the basic steps that are involved in creating GMO? Identification of
Identification of DNA with desired gene, then introduction of identified DNA into the host,
huh,
then maintenance of the DNA in the host and transfer of the DNA into to its progeny.
progeny. Progeny, you know, progeny means
Yeah,
offspring or
offspring.
daughter cells. Okay, so these are the steps that are involved in creating GMO. And now,
Sure.
what are the tools? Previously, you have studied about restriction endonuclease or DNA ligase. Okay, so these are the tools. So next topic we will study about the tools of recombinant DNA technology. One second. Tools of recombinant DNA. So next topic we will study about tools of recombinant DNA technology. So what are the tools that are required for recombinant DNA technology? Okay, so firstly, you have studied that for cutting and pasting, enzymes are required. Okay,
Hmm.
so enzyme is also a tool. Enzyme. Next, what is required? Vector or carrier of DNA. So this is called cloning vector. Cloning vector, which is also called vehicle DNA. And this is also called gene taxi. Taxi, you know, Devika,
Yes.
what is the use of taxi?
What is the use of
Hmm?
that? For traveling
You,
to
what?
okay. What is the
That
use
carry
of
you from one place to another place. Taxi.
yeah?
Similarly, cloning vector the same. This will carry the DNA into the host. That's why it is also called vehicle DNA or gene taxi, or simply it is called cloning vector. And next is
No, in recombinant DNA, we saw that one vector DNA is using. That DNA is the like of the bacteria's DNA, no?
what?
Or in the vector DNA, which we had used for formation of recombinant DNA.
Yes.
That vector DNA that is of the host or what is that?
This is vector DNA. Vector DNA simply will carry vector DNA you have prepared. So most commonly used vector is plasmid and bacteriophage. We will study about this. Okay.
Okay.
So simply this will be vector DNA that will take away the DNA you have prepared into the host. That's why it is also called gene taxi or vehicle DNA.
So that is the DNA, and vector DNA is used for carrying the foreign DNA which we had
Yes, yes,
like
yes, yes.
that. Okay.
Yeah. Is it clear to you?
Yeah.
Okay. And next, you have to introduce the desired DNA into the host. So there must be a requirement of host, and host should be competent. Competent host. And for what purpose this competent host will be required? So for transformation with for transformation with recombinant DNA. Okay. And competent host, here I have written competent host means the host which will take easily the foreign DNA. So for this you have to make host competent. There are so many methods that are used to make the host competent. Is it clear to you? What are the
Yeah.
tools of recombinant DNA technology?
Enzymes, cloning vector, which is also
And
known as vehicle DNA or gene taxi, and then
or
competent
competent host.
for transformation with recombinant DNA.
Okay. So in enzyme section, what we will study is what are the enzymes that are required. So simply to know already are knowing about some enzymes. Suppose that you have seen the desired DNA in bacteria. Okay. So DNA is present in nuclear material, nucleus material. So how you will be able to isolate the DNA from the bacteria? Simply you will not, you will just go and ask bacteria to give DNA. This is not possible. For this, what you have to do, you have to just simply break the cell wall of the bacteria. Okay, so you have to digest all the component of bacteria, and then only you will be able to take the DNA. Suppose that you want to take DNA from plant cell, then how will you be able to take the DNA from plant cell? Simply what you have to do, you have to just digest the cell wall of the plant cell, and then only membrane will be ruptured, and then nuclear material is along with the RNA and protein. So you have to treat the RNA and DNA so that RNA and protein will be digested, and you would be able to isolate the DNA. So these are known as lysing enzyme. Lysing enzyme for simply killing the cell from which you want to take the DNA. So these are the enzymes. First, we will discuss about lysing enzyme. Lysing enzymes. And generally, these enzymes are used to open up the cells to get DNA. For what purpose? For genetic experiment. Experiment. And generally, some enzymes you have to learn. Lysozyme. Have you heard this term, lysozyme?
Yeah,
What does it do?
it's uh like this is the so, um, I mean I know, but
Hmm? Dissolve or to break, you
well,
can say.
um,
Lysozyme. Okay. And this is for bacteria. So for getting DNA from bacteria, you will just use this lysozyme. Suppose that you want to take DNA from plant cell. So cell wall is made up of what?
cellulose,
What?
cellulose,
Cellulose. And I think that you have doubt in this.
no,
Cellulose or confirmed cellulose?
cellulose confirmed cell.
So for digesting cellulose, you need enzyme that is known as cellulose. Lase. Enzyme ends with word ase. Cellulose. ठीक है? And suppose that you want to take DNA from fungi, then fungal cell wall is made up of
Fungal cell wall.
hmm.
It one chitin, yeah,
Hmm?
chitin.
Chitin.
Huh.
So for this you need enzyme what? Chitinase.
Chitinase.
I think you have to do a lot of practice for NEET
Yes.
because these are the basic things that you have to learn. What about physiology of class 11th? Lot of terms are there for to learn in that physiology topic. Have you revised that physiology topic of class 11?
No, biology, like I have to do here after, like physics, chemistry, I have finished. Biology, I have to do.
Biology. And in physiology section only, I think 15 to 15 questions almost are asked from
15.
physiology. 15 questions. Okay, 10 to 15 questions means marks. That is very important. Physiology. Okay, so these are the enzyme, and this comes under what? Lysing enzyme. So what are the lysing enzyme? Lysozyme,
Then
cellulase, and
cellulase, chitinase.
chitinase. Okay. Next, cleaving enzyme. Cleaving enzyme is the DNA is present in thread-like structure. You have to cut the DNA. Okay, and you know that cleaving enzyme. One of cleaving enzyme is restriction endonuclease. Okay, so generally this enzyme are used to break DNA, or simply you can say break DNA molecules. And basically this cleaving enzyme of types, if we'll discuss about the types of cleaving enzyme, this is of three types. How many types of cleaving enzymes are there?
3 types.
Three types. Exonuclease, endonuclease, and one more is there that is called restriction endonuclease. And which enzyme you will prefer in rDNA? You know that
Restriction endonuclease.
restriction endonuclease. Okay. Restriction endonuclease. So exonuclease. DNA is single stranded or double stranded?
DNA,
Yeah.
both are there.
Generally,
Double strand.
that is found in our cases
Generally double strand.
double stranded. Okay. And generally, DNA is double stranded molecules, not single stranded. Watson and Crick model, do you know? Watson and Crick model.
I have heard, but I don't remember.
Once
What's the
again,
Crick model of the
Watson and Crick model.
double
DNA
stranded
is
helical?
double helical structure. Okay, not single stranded. It is double helical structure. So exonuclease simply cut the DNA from the end. Endonuclease will cut from within the DNA, but in single strand only. And both this exonuclease and endonuclease will cut in single strand only. Okay, and this only restriction endonuclease is the enzyme that will cut in both the strands. So both strands will be cutted by which enzyme? Restriction
Restriction
endonuclease. So what
nucleus.
about
This
exonuclease?
exonucleus and
We don't use this exonuclease. What exonuclease does, I'll write here. Simply you can say DNA is polymer of what? What is DNA? Devika, what is DNA?
What is DNA?
What is DNA? This also you have studied in molecular basis of inheritance.
Yeah.
What is DNA?
What is you're asking what is DNA made of, or what
Okay, what is DNA made of?
what is made of it is made of nucleotides.
Nucleotides? What is
Uh,
nucleotide?
it includes one sugar group, and then one phosphate group, and then nitrogen bases, like composition of this is nucleotides.
Okay, so if exonuclease, what does it do? They remove the nucleotides from the terminal end.
Hmm.
From the terminal end. Okay, terminal ends, you know, DNA polarity 5 prime to 3 prime, 5 prime to
They-
3 prime. So you can say that either 5 prime or 3 prime of DNA in one strand only. One strand of duplex, you can say. DNA is duplex, two strands are there, but this will suppose that this is the DNA. So if we use this exonuclease, what exonuclease will do? This is DNA, this sugar phosphate, you know. So this is 5 prime, 3 prime, 5 prime, 3 prime. So what exonuclease will do? It will simply 3 prime to 5 prime, and this is the base, and simply it will cut from here. Okay. So this is 5 prime and 3 prime. Again, this will be 5 prime, 3 prime. So this is cutting from end. Okay. And from end, it is simply you are seeing that this is cutting in single strand only. But when you want to take DNA, what is, you know, single strand, you will need single strand or double strand. You need both the strand. Okay, Deepika, are you there in class, Deepika?
Hello.
Yeah.
No, suddenly someone called. I had to cut their call. So
Okay, okay, okay. So this exonuclease will cut in one strand only, not in both strands. So we don't use this exonuclease in our DNA. Okay, recombinant DNA we don't use because this is cutting DNA in one strand only and from the terminal end, not within the DNA. So this is about exonuclease, and next is endonuclease. Endonuclease. So what will endonuclease do? They also cut, this will cut the DNA within the fragment, but only in one strand only, not in both of the strand. Okay, so this is endonuclease. You can say they must make cut at a specific position. A specific position within the DNA. And again, you can write that these enzymes do not cleave, cleave means cut the ends, and involves only one strand of DNA duplex. DNA duplex. Okay, so this also will cut the DNA, but within the fragment, and again it will cut only in single strand only. So suppose that we'll discuss about endonuclease, and the DNA is like this 5 prime to 3 prime, 3 prime to 5 prime,
Hmm.
and
So exonuclease cuts at the end and this at the specific position in the.
yes, and this also, suppose that this is DNA. Okay, and when you will use the enzyme endonuclease, what happens? This is 3 prime to 5 prime, so, and this is 5 prime. Okay, so this is cutting like this. Okay, this is same here, but it will cut. Again, you can make the polarity. This is 3 prime, this becomes 5 prime, this becomes 3 prime, and this again is 5 prime, 3 prime. Means what you are saying that when we use endonuclease enzyme, simply it will cut the DNA but in only one strand, because you are seeing that this 3 and 3 prime to 5 prime polarity of DNA strand, it is not being cutted. Okay, Devika?
Yeah.
So this is cutting DNA only in one of the fragment, and this is not cutting from the end, but it is cutting within the DNA sequence, and only one strand of DNA is being cut. So again, we will not use this endonuclease enzyme in which technology? rDNA technology. Okay. So another enzyme is there, that is called what? Restriction
Endonuclease.
endonuclease. Because you want the enzyme that will cut both the strand of DNA, not only single strand. So restriction endonuclease, they cut DNA duplex at specific points. At specific points, and they are single stranded free ends are called sticky ends. I will explain this term, sticky end, which can be joined end to end by which enzyme is used to join the DNA. I have told you in earlier classes.
Which ligase?
Yes, DNA ligase. Okay, so we use restriction endonuclease. Why we will use this? Because this enzyme is cutting DNA at a specific points, and this will cut both of the strand. You know, okay, this enzyme, both strands are will be cutted with this restriction endonucleases, and this also is, you can say, this cuts both strands of the DNA duplex. Okay, so both of the strands will be cutted by this enzyme, and when this will cut enzyme within the DNA, it will just create a sticky end, and a sticky end means cohesive end, and sticky ends is required for EG ligation. That's why we will prefer this, which enzyme? Restriction endonuclease, because this will create a sticky ends, and sticky ends makes which process easy? It makes ligation process easy. Is it clear to you, Deepika?
Yeah.
Okay. So exonuclease, endonuclease, we don't have go in detail with that exo and endo. We will discuss only this restriction endonuclease. This is important, restriction endonuclease. And one question is always being asked from this restriction endonuclease in NEET also. Restriction endonuclease. And this restriction endonuclease is called molecular scissor. It is called what? Molecular scissor. Okay. So molecular scissor, it is also called biological scissor. Biological scissor. Okay. And first time this enzyme was discovered in bacteria. Okay, so restriction endonuclease first time was discovered in which organism? What?
Bacteria.
Okay. Palindromic sequence, you know? Palindromic.
In molecule, that chapter I studied, but I don't know.
Have you gone through this chapter?
With biotechnology.
Yes. So that palindromic sequence, you know or don't know?
No, I don't. I remember.
Okay, no problem. So simply I will write here. Say this enzyme recognize the base sequence. Base, you know, nitrogenous base. Okay, because DNA is made of nucleotide and nucleotide contain nitrogenous bases.
Nitrogen.
What are the nitrogenous bases that are present in nucleotide?
Mm,
Hmm? Four nitrogenous
okay,
bases are there.
those four. Cytosine and thymine, guanine, and adenine.
Adenine, guanine, cytosine, and
Guanine, thymine, cytosine,
thymine.
guanine, adenine.
Okay. So this recognizes the base sequence at palindromic site. I will explain this palindromic site. This is very important.
Oh.
Palindromic site. And where will it get this palindromic site? In DNA duplex. In DNA duplex and Kurtz's strand. Okay. For example, you can say one restriction endonuclease is this question is a repeated question of NEAT, ECO R1. Okay. So this is the enzyme that is known as ECO R1. Okay. So this ECO R1 is example of restriction. What? Restriction endonuclease. Okay. So this is the enzyme ECO R1. And this ECO R1, this is generally found in ECO R1 is found in Escherichia coli. Escherichia coli, E. coli bacteria, you know. So this is generally found in E. coli. Okay, and this recognizes base sequence. Because when this enzyme will be used to cut the DNA, firstly it will find its recognition sequence, and after recognizing its sequence, it simply cut the DNA. Okay, so this enzyme will its recognition sequences. Simply, you can say recognition sequence. So this is 5 prime, 3 prime, 3 prime, 5 prime. Okay. So it will just recognize its sequence, and sequence is GAATTC. What is the base sequence of echo R1 that it will recognize? GAATTC.
TTC.
Okay, and again, you know that pairing of DNA. Have you any idea about pairing of DNA? A pairs with
Yeah.
adenine pair
A
with
plus
adenine pair with what? Which base?
A plus with T. No.
ATGC. Okay, ATG G pairs with what? C. Okay, Deepika. So
Yeah.
this is C. So C G T then A T T C. Okay. So this is palindromic sequence.
Yeah.
Now we will come to know what is palindromic sequence. Both sequence reads same. Okay. When orientation of reading is same. Suppose that you will want to start from 5 prime. Then what is the base? Once say GAA,
GATTC.
and again suppose in next strand also, when you keep the orientation same, you are reading from 5 prime, then read this from 5 prime. What is this?
GATTC.
Means both strands read same, like suppose that madam. Okay, so read from left, what is spelling?
Madam.
MADAM. And from right also, what is the spelling of madam? M.
MADAM.
So do you know palindromic sequence now? Recognize
Huh.
palindromic sequence means reads same. Okay, MADAM. So suppose you are reading from this left side MADAM and right from the also this is same spelling, that is MAGAM. So this is called palindromic sequence. When reads from same frame of orientation, uh, when reading is done from same frame orientation, it's uh, pronounced same. Just for example, GAATTC, and again in next stage it is what? GAATTC.
TTC.
Okay, so this echo R1 will cut in. So this will, when this echo R1 find this recognition sequence in DNA, then this will cut between the same bases G and A. ठीक है? Cuts between same base G and what? A. So when this enzyme will be used, what sequence it will create? One see, simply it is G and A A T T C, and again in this also simply what will you see? From 5 prime this only, this will contain G, and again it is what will be this G, and again this is C T T A A. Okay, so G and A and G, this G and A. Is it clear to you? How does it cut?
Yeah.
It simply recognizes what recognizes the palindromic sequence, and then after recognizing palindromic sequence, it will cut within the same basis, and that basis is G and what? G and A.
A.
Okay, this is clear to you.
Yeah.
So this end This is called sticky end. Okay, suppose that when you will come to join this, so this makes ligation process easy. It is called what end? This is called which end? Sticky end. Okay,
Yes. Yes.
so suppose that when you will bring the sequence for ligasing, if it is AATTC, then it will be easy to ligate. Is it clear to you? Palindromic sequence is clear to you?
Yes, sir.
And sticky end?
Yes.
Okay. So this is all about restriction endonuclease. And if we will discuss about uh, restriction endonuclease, then restriction nucleus endonuclease is also of three types. Types of restriction endonuclease. So we will discuss about the types of restriction endonuclease. Then how many types of restriction endonuclease are there? Three types. Okay.
Hmm.
Type 1, type 2, and type, guess what? Type 3. Okay. So
Yes.
among all these types of restriction endonuclease, only type 2 is used in recombinant DNA technology. Okay.
Yes.
Which type of restriction endonuclease is used in biotechnology? Type 1, type 2, or type 3?
Type 2.
Type 2. Why? Because it does not require ATP. Type 1 and type 3 require, this also requires ATP.
ATP.
ATP, you know, energy.
Yes.
Type 1
Yes.
also, this also requires ATP. But this not require ATP. Okay. Type 2 do not require, it only requires magnesium ion. Okay, suppose that you want to use type 1 and type 3, then it a lot of energy will be required in this. So suppose that you have options that for purchasing anything you have to pay money, and another thing is there that is free of cost. Without expenditure of money you can buy that substance. Which
Hmm.
choice will be preferred by you, for buying free of cost or for paying money?
For buying free of cost.
Okay, same here. Okay, type 1 and type 3 requires what? ATP, but type
ATP.
2 do not requires ATP. So which enzyme is used to cut the DNA? Restriction enzyme.
Type 2.
Type 2 or type 1?
2. Type 2.
Type 2. Okay, so this is all about restriction endonuclease. Now, this is nomenclature. This is also the question of board examination also. Nomenclature of restriction endonuclease. Yeah, restriction enzyme. Okay, suppose that how we have named this eco R1. Eco R1 is restriction enzyme, but how we have taken this word? So what is the nomenclature? So generally we will discuss about that. Eco R1, generally you know that restriction enzyme is obtained from bacteria, and the bacteria from which we take the enzyme, the nomenclature will be according to that. Okay, so
Okay.
we can say that it is named for the bacteria from which they have been isolated. Isolated. Okay, so from bacteria from which the bacteria from which we obtain this restriction endonuclease, nomenclature is done according to that only. Okay, so the first letter, this is the first letter. Okay, this is the second letter, third letter, fourth letter, and fifth letter. So in this we will come to know that the first letter of enzyme is the genus name of bacteria. Genus and species, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, so first letter have been taken from genus, and again the second two letter. Okay, next we can write then second and third letter. Okay, so this second and third letter, we can see that this comes from the first two letter of species. I will explain this. First two letter of species. Okay, and again fourth letter from strain of bacteria. And usually this is written in capital letter. Capital letter. And now the fourth, after fourth, the fifth, this is letter R1. Okay, so next we can say that the end of name, the end of name, and usually this is Roman number. This indicates the order in which the enzyme was isolated. Isolated. Okay, Deepika, I will explain this. Take a break of 5 minutes. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Deepika, are you there in class?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we were discussing about the nomenclature of the enzyme. Okay. And here I have written eco R1. Eco R1. Okay. So how we have written this eco R1? What are the criteria according to which this is we have written the name of this restriction enzyme? So this E comes from genus of bacteria. So this enzyme was isolated from which enzyme? Which bacteria? E. coli. Have you heard this name? E. coli.
Yeah. Huh.
What is the full form of E. coli? E. coli full form?
Eh,
What?
I mean, I don't know the exact spelling, but Escherichia, something like that.
Escherichia coli. Okay.
Mm, mm.
This is Escherichia coli. Okay. So this is isolated from
Ego.
yes, Escherichia coli. Okay. So the first letter comes from the genus. This is the genus and this is the species. Okay. Do you know scientific nomenclature?
Yeah.
Okay. So this
Now this is all for
what?